boy, 3 copies of Engage.
This is Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. If you're familiar at all with the Eternal format, also known as Toss format, it's probably one of the first things you think of. And if you actually played during this format, this shiny teal rectangle has been burned into your retinas forever at this point. The notoriety of Engage is tied to more than just the aesthetics of the archetype it's attached to. Have you ever thought about what makes Engage itself so good? Engage has a ton of things going for it. It's a spell card, the easiest type of card to activate within the game. It has very little setup or prerequisite in order to use its effect, and you bet that effect is a good one, being able to add any other card of its archetype as well as drawing you a card, a +1 in card advantage. It's pseudo-searchable through cards like Area Zero, Hayate plus Kagari combos, and to a degree Foolish Burial Goods plus Kagari. It's not even a once per turn, so if you draw into multiple engages, you can activate one after another, letting things get out of hand really quickly. And of course, that means you can engage into engage.
Watch this. This is absolutely crucial. Another engage coming down. Wow!
But what if I told you that none of those reasons that I just listed, all of those amazing effects and attributes that any archetype would kill for, aren't even what make engage so good? What makes engage so good isn't what it does, but what you can do after it. You see, engage, despite its prerequisite, is actually pretty generic. A lot of the cards that Engage is able to search, say for example Hornet Drones, have the ability to generate insane amount of card advantage and disruption entirely on their own, combined with the deck's normal inherent plays. One of the most common examples was in Sky Striker Orchest, a hybrid arguably tier 0 deck of the format. Engage wasn't used as just a way to generate card advantage, but as a way to grab disruption on the play on top of that, like grabbing Shark Cannon or Widow Anchor. In decks that needed free bodies, Engage grabbing Hornet Drones was a free link too in an era where the only real free specials were the danger monsters, which weren't as easily splashable comparatively. And in builds which ran multi-role such as Pure Striker or Trickstar Striker, it allowed you to repeat this entire process over and over and over again. This multifaceted usage of Engage being able to be splashed into virtually every deck due to its incredible self-contained power and the plays that followed up in Engage is what made Sky Striker, historically through tournament results at least, the best deck of all time. It did literally everything a card could possibly do with flying colors. And for that reason, on the January 2020 ban list, after an entire 605 days of playability, it was finally banned and remains banned to this day.
Anything else banned? Anything else? Sky Striker? Grab Rim! Grab, yeah! Yes!
People still to this day play Strikers to an extent, seeing modest success at best from accomplished players such as Ryan Yu. However, the deck still sees less than a fraction of what it originally did in terms of competitive success, and more or less serves as a shell for these guys. It's interesting to think how just the right amount of tweaking and genericness a card has can make it turn from just good to legendary. 10 key is limited by what it can search and is a hard once per turn. Medallion of the Ice Barrier isn't a once per turn and has no prerequisites, but its targets are questionable. Hell, even Pot of Greed has been argued to be just a worse Engage since you can actually guarantee a target with Engage, rather than just quote-unquote only draw 2 random cards. Would Strikers still be as good historically if even one of its variables were changed just a little bit, like it being a monster effect or a hard once per turn? I don't think so. But I can say one thing for sure. It's still not as good as Nadir Servant. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe.
Should be enough, maybe.